Peace and Order. Both of these teams have drawn a whole lot of attention so far, and this game is really going to test both of them because Peace, they're looking pretty good. Order, they had a huge, clean game yesterday, and we're looking to see if they can do it again, back it up for the second time this week.
Yeah, this one's a really interesting one. So I was looking over some of the stats, and they're very close. Both these teams excelling in all the right areas in terms of both Peace and Order have the highest percentage of overall dragons.
Yeah.
In like the 80% range. It's a huge drop off to third after that. So big emphasis on them fighting a Dragon Soul win condition. And the other two big talking points for me was just how much gold that they're actually spending. So they're having these huge leads. Maybe not as much as, say, the Chiefs, but they're snowballing early. They're utilizing it to get these advantages. And it just so happens that rather than the Chiefs playing for the turrets and the plates, they're playing for the Drakes instead. So this one's really interesting for me because I really want to figure out, okay, what actually separates them? What is the difference when they clash head to head? Yeah,
and who's going to be getting those Drakes? Because there's only so much to go around. Of course, we're going to be talking Peace first here. Rusty, tell me, where's the strong point in this team and who's going to gap who on Order?
I mean, it's funny, the strong point's kind of everywhere, right? But Appy and Lisa have been playing really well so far since they've come back together. The band is brought back together in jungle and mid. Appy, of course, a returning mid laner, switched to top. Was successful, came back to mid. I think even had a stint in support, so it kind of does it all. Yesterday, if you think back to Peace's game, you'll remember that they were against the Direwolves R-button composition, right? The one-hit wombo combo. They weathered that exceptionally well. They handled it almost at every single stage of the game. They had a really nice combo between the Lee Sin and the Gragas as well. So only really compliments for Peace from the beginning of the split. And I think a lot of teams, not just us, underrated them early. And now we're showing due respect to how good Peace actually are from the get-go.
Very true. And I love the couple of emotes mid-fight as well. Skimmy, who's going to be emoting on who here from Order? Because they got a lot of talented individuals in this lineup as well.
I certainly do. They're stacked across the board. I feel like if anybody were to do it, probably Puma taking on his old support in the bot lane against Beats. I'm really excited to see how that matchup works because he himself said, right, just needed a change. Corporal's different, but they're looking pretty strong so far. He debuted the center, he showcased what he can do, and it looks phenomenal. So I'm really excited for that bot lane matchup. Cheyenne's still coming into his own, but I feel like this could certainly be an area where they could look to try and target. Elsewhere across the map, though, Order are just rife with skill power, aren't they? I mean, you look at Kevy, and he says, I have these pocket picks, and it's something unique that no other people will play, but he gets away with it because there's only so many bans. The Evelyn looks so strong. Kisei, quite rightfully, took a little bit of a backseat to try and facilitate it and play the Renekton. But that was a menace in its own right. He was the only one that died on this play here. So very strong performance from Order last night. Big statement game from there. It was a very quick night, but I feel like if anything, you set yourself up for good steed to come into this one feeling confident and feeling ready.
Yeah, he just wanted to be that punching bag for a little too long, and it wasn't the clean game they were looking for. But still, 13-1, you can't ask for too much more than that. Now, I believe you've heard enough from us. The players, they've had a chance to chat towards one another, talk about this matchup, and talk about who's going to take the cake. Now, it's spicy. Listen to this.
Peace is a bit overrated right now. I think they're a free win, to be honest. I don't really see us losing to them.
I'm pretty confident going into Order. There's nothing too crazy about them. I'm not too scared of Order at all.
Mid jungle top, I think that's probably going to be the biggest gap. I feel like their bot lane is like their only hope on their team.
Where's the biggest diff? I think we're just going to be better overall as a team.
I think Peace should be proud of themselves for having an undefeated record so far, but they should be ready to kiss it goodbye.
Kevy, everyone's been talking a lot of hype about you and how much you've improved. I can't wait on game day to turn you from this as confidence as a player, and you're going to turn into this.
I really need to talk to Deanne and figure out just where that octopus is from. We were talking about it before, and I'm not 100%, and no one's been able to tell me. So someone in chat, please just at me on Twitter, at LCO on Twitter, so I can bloody figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Or you could just bloody DM me and tell me as well. Maybe it's just a random plushie that he enjoys. Either way, they were saying some words. You know, the fact that Bio thinks that bot lane is where Peace is going to win it is interesting because we've seen them have strength all across the board, Rusty.
Yeah, it's funny that Bio even said topside, right? He's like, top mid jungle, we're just going to be too good. When I wrote down my 5 players, I like to compare players individually, and the only place I saw an advantage was probably Puma against Chaeyoung. But what we've seen so far has been exceptional. And it is funny, like we highlight with Puma here, he's up against Beats, that former teammate from 2 years they've played together. So very excited to see these two go head to head. There could be some emotional gaming down there, who knows?
I wonder how many emotes, how many words are going to be said. Either way, we do have a couple of players ready for an interview, and Kitty is going to be bringing the goods.
Hey Mac, don't worry, I will ask Tien personally where to get that plushie. But let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to the interview. So, starting off with Romeo, Tien, where did you get your plushie?
It's irrelevant where I got the plushie from. Why didn't you get B to do the interview with his old boyfriend, Puma here? Like, what the fuck?
Because I did Beats yesterday, I can't choose him twice. But
you can do it twice. Like, this
congrats.
is like, oh. He's on here. But you could have interviewed both of them. That would have been so good for content.
I'm sorry, I'll do that next time. I'm so sorry. But Romeo, let's begin the interview. So, So, happy Chinese New Year's to the Peace House. Who has the honor to prepare for tonight's dinner?
Menulog?
Menulog? Well,
Yeah, Menulog.
hopefully you guys share the Menulog play of the game. Play of the whatever it is, I forgot. Anyways, let's talk about last night's draft. So you guys picked Gragas, Graves, Lee Sin, a 3-way flex, and you guys all look super comfortable on those champions. Is this something we will see more of in the future?
Honestly, yesterday we kind of got confused and we just kind of picked Gragas because I just wanted to pick Chaeyoung Graves. Like I said pick Graves to give Api more time to what he wants to think. Because yeah, but apparently like Chaeyoung's client is in Chinese, so he couldn't find the champion in time, so he just locked in Gragas. And then yeah, so we just play whatever, I guess. Whatever we want.
Playing whatever seems to work because you guys did get the dub. So my next question is, everyone placed Peace in the middle pack for their power ranking. You guys are currently undefeated 3-0. What do you have to say to those people?
Yeah, I don't know why everyone like placed us so low in the power rankings. Like, who you doubting, right? Like, I feel like everyone is really talented on my team. Like, I think it's kind of troll that you guys put us so low. Like, is it just cause I came 16th place out of 10 academy teams last year? Like, come on, I'll watch any of you top laners, 100%.
Well, best of luck in your match tonight, Romeo. Moving on to Puma, amazing performance on the Senna ADC against Kanga last night. We also saw Voice Picket and you guys both did tons of damage. With the Senna buffs, will we be seeing more of her in competitive?
I mean, I think it depends on the bot lane. I think against us it should be permabanned, but I don't know if anyone else plays Senna, to be honest, or plays it well.
Well, Romeo roasted me about this, but how do you feel about going against your old support Beats?
I don't know. I don't really feel too much, but we made a bet if whoever loses has to buy dinner, so he gets to choose because it's his money anyway.
Well, hopefully you enjoy your dinner tonight, Puma, and so do you, Romeo. And thank you for the interview, guys. Best of luck in your match.
Thank you.
Interesting couple of things said that time. Tien as well, just bloody roasting you off the
I'm
mark.
just getting roasted.
I feel like you
chose
deserve an
violence.
apology. It's not your fault that Beats didn't want to do the interview. And if he did, well, look, he probably should have reached out earlier. Right? Either way, I'm disappointed because you, Kitty, didn't ask about the Octopus, or did I space out?
I
What did he
did,
say?
but
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He's
Yeah.
like, why didn't you choose Beats for the interview? And I was, oh
That's
my god,
right,
I'm sorry.
you did. Sorry, that's my bad. It's Tien's fault for not coming clean. So hopefully we'll figure that one out down the track. Now, we do have to talk about predictions. We have to talk about which way we think this one's going to go. So let's have a quick look at who's gone where. It's the first full split that we've had.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think. So me and Rusty, Team Order, Skimmy Kitty, Team Peace. So Skimmy, tell me why.
Well, for me, I think Peace excel in a few areas. I'm a big believer of the mid-jungle synergy that they put together. They have such a well-established idea of how they want to play together. And just, once again, happy that he can change lanes and just look to be a top 3 at the gates every single time. It's just mind-boggling just how good this guy is at League of Legends. Tien, I mean, I've always enjoyed that he has this very carry-style focused top lane style. It works. But when he plays the tanks as well and looks good on that, I'm always happy too. So I'm looking at the top half of Peace and saying that's why I see the biggest point of power.
The accidental tanks as well, by the way. Remember
true.
that one?
Yeah,
So
sure.
We'll see if that changes going into today, if they're going to be able to lock in the champs that they actually want. Now, Rusty, tell me why we've both gone for Order. Put some words in my mouth.
Because Order almost had a perfect game yesterday. They've looked like they were the best performing team against the Chiefs so far as well, though they didn't get the wins, they got leads. I mean, it's hard to fault how well Order have played so far. Besides the one person on their team, BioPanther, who picked it up. So I'm not going to fault Order with what I've seen from them so far. Actually, I have really high hopes that BioPanther is that guy that deals with carry top laners and puts them in the bin. So that's what I'm expecting in this one.
Okay, and Kitty, why are you a Peace believer?
Well, I think Tien, Lisa, and RP are very strong top mid jungle synergy. They're gonna just gap them. It's gonna be a gap.
So completely the opposite of what BioPanther said in that head-to-head. So we'll see if you're right. We'll see if he's right. We know the game's not too far away. I don't know where this one's gonna be won. It's so interesting to watch. I feel like maybe there's going to be a gap at bot, and I'm not too sure which way it's going. I'm leaning kind of in Order's favor down there. We'll see if that's the case, because Champ Select is ready. It's time for the game.
Let's go. Let's load into what I'm going to call match of the day, perhaps even match of the week.
Has to be.
Who knows? But I tell you what, this is a game that is certainly going to answer a lot of questions, right? These two teams tied square peg at the top of the table, looking to try and really showcase what they can do. Yes, Peace are undefeated, but can Order upset the party?
Evelyn Trundemis Senna actually going to be the bans. Perhaps Tien was listening really closely, more than his attitude was giving away in that interview. And Senna's going to be taken off the board. Puma was very good with it. It also showed, of course, that I would imagine Corporal has the flexibility to play things other than Leona, but we saw the very staple bot lane from them. Yes, Skibby, it's finally a Caitlyn.
It's happened. It's happened because Beats is not allowed to play Lulu. He's played it 3 times so far, so they've actually put a ban on that. That means this goes through, and this opens up a world of possibility. The most likely that we're thinking is probably, what, Caitlyn Lux,
Caitlyn is probably the response, though.
Caitlyn Morgana, Caitlyn Karma, just anything to push.
Yeah, so in the first game, I think we mentioned this, but like Jinx Caitlyn can be considered a handshake. Lulu's going to be banned, though. So the question does come about, like you said, could it be a Cait Lux lane? You know, could it be a hyper-aggressive win 2v2 lane? Well, that would mean that Order would be considering either a hard engaged support like a Nautilus, or they'd be going like the Karma and trying to actually outperform the 2v2. Either way, I don't think I would be picking my support second. I'd be wanting Peace to show their hand first, because a blind Lux or like a blind Karma opens up the Nautilus on the other side, and Caitlyn kind of couples with every champion, as does a Jinx. That's why it's a bit of a handshake, you know. Even if Caitlyn performs super well in laning phase, Jinx hits team fights, they're very similar overall. Diana actually going to be the pick with it here. And I like this because it keeps the flexibility for Kisei to be a hyper carry in mid lane if he wants to Yasuo with it. Though the Tryndamere isn't going to be there, the combos from physical champions could still exist. It also opens up BioPanther with like a Diffusal Renekton angle, right? Renekton Diana is going to be pretty solid in the 2v2.
Yeah, certainly gives you the invitation for Kevin to visit both top and mid and find success, but then most notably go to those team fights, those very early skirmishes, and unleash a lot of power with those early levels too. So Peace have gone for that in China bot lane, the double oppressive poke, so a trap into a binding, into a shield, into pretty much everything, right? So much poke and nuisance. That plate will be falling down. You will be getting bullied out of lane, and you need something aggressive to try and answer it. So Lantern is nice, but most notably the hook to try and really punish them if they step a little bit over the line.
Yeah, the Thresh is nice. It will be useful for sure. It's not going to be as like hyper-aggressive as an Aftershock Nautilus, you know? It's not going to be something that goes straight forwards and punishes the Lux. It's more of a middle ground pick. And Thresh has always kind of been that flexible hook champion compared to the rest. The Lantern utility is going to be pretty valuable here. And Lance and gank setup obviously is going to be a factor. Corporal, I'm excited to see just how good he is on the Thresh, because we spoke about Caitlyn being available. We very rarely see this as well. In saying that, they see the Lux, they go for the Thresh. I think we acknowledge what the bans are going to be from Peace in 4-5 here, Skimmy, because they want to get rid of some of the obvious combo champs. And it could actually be that we get Renekton bang, or like Renekton's already banned, but like Gragas picked for 10 intentionally this time. As you can see, that's going to be taken away also.
Yeah, a bit of an emphasis from the order camp to make Tien's life a little harder to carry from. So no Gwen and no Gragas as well. Graves still available. Certainly another option if you're looking for something safe, secure, and stable. But what will Peace remove? Having already denied the Yasuo, they'll also remove his brother. No Yone.
Yeah, so Peace are getting rid of physical damage champions, Order are getting rid of magic damage champions from top side. It does raise the question of what magic damage champions would exist if it was Tien going to be playing them. You've got like Ken and Rumble. We've seen enough Vladimir and the LCO to say that out loud as well. And on the other side, AD champions that still couple with a Diana, there's plenty. It could be a set, right? Given that we've seen Gragas taken off the board, given that we've seen Renekton taken off the board and Gwen, it's possible that it's a set angle from the Order side, but it's going to be the blind Ornn first. Which, again, it's Biopanther, so he gets away with it, but Ornn doesn't have a winning matchup in every matchup, not by any means.
No, but this is something that Bio is very comfortable with. He's played a lot of Ornn in his time. They will save that final pick for Kisei. As you say, they need some 80 damage. We'll see what they go for. As for the meantime, Peace have locked themselves in with the Camille, so they've got some split push.
But the question for me is, what do they pick mid here? Like, what does Appy show? If it's a bruiser, I think that changes what Kisei's feeling. Because if they go for just a control mage, like they pick the Victor or something, it's straight up Zed. Like, Kisei assassin straight in your face, you know?
It's going to be a squishy comp, but if this is to be confirmed, it's going to be one filled with a lot of damage. Very explosive, in and out, blink, and you may just miss it. Akali confirmed. And what does this mean now for Order?
There's not a lot of AD champions left, like Aurelia.
I was going to say, that's his most played.
Jace, yeah. That can work. Jace is still definitely flexible enough to go mid lane. It's also range, so Akali would have a bit harder of a time early.
Get a good enough trade straight into hammer form, and you make the Akali's life a bit of a living hell. Here we go. So first Caitlyn game, which is going to be exciting in and of itself. And this is kind of, I think, what we were both sort of, sharing as to where we're excited for, right? That bot lane.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's going to be the place that we have to keep our eyes peeled on for who gets ahead, or if someone makes mistakes, there's going to be a lot of punish potential down there, particularly with the champions that we've seen now from this draft, Skimmy. And saying that, I'm looking at Appy still, and I'm looking at Lisa, saying, well, that was one of the cleanest Lee Sins we've seen in the LCO so far, was Lisa yesterday.
Yeah.
Appy's now picked up an AP assassin in mid. The variance that we're going to see from mid jungle is huge, because it's not a combo. It's not a Diana Yasuo combo, it's a Jace. It's just mixed damage. Like, the composition is definitely more inclusive of the Ornn, where I think Peace don't necessarily need the Camille to make anything happen. They've got a staunch bottom lane that wants to break turrets, and they've got assassins for flanks.
And that's my big question about this assassin. What build will it be? Because yes, the chem tank did get nerfed on 12-2. We're still seeing it though. But we are seeing a lot of the variation as well. The Proto Belt is still up there in the mix of things. Sometimes even the Rift Maker. But the chem tank isn't completely dead just yet. So if they want a little bit of sustainability, perhaps that's the avenue that Appy goes down. Otherwise, just as full on, as we said before, explosive one-shot territory. Either we're dying or you are.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be feeling that way. As we start to load into this one and thinking about the early game, it's pretty obvious that we're going to draw a lot of attention towards the jungle roles. Kevy's got a lot of importance on him. It's not going to be his niche Evelyn pick. You know, it's not going to be something that only he plays. It is the standard, is the discovered and known Diana with no setup. It's difficult to execute for him. It's going to be entirely on himself. Same thing can be said for Lisa. There's only one lane that really provides setup for both of these junglers early. and that would be bottom lane. And so it may just be a case of top to bottom pathing.
All our answers will be delivered very shortly. Here we go, loading into the Rift here for the third match of the night to close out week 2. As we have what is arguably match of the week. It's Order taking on Peace, looking to cause another upset in a week which has delivered so much already. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, we do have Coach Ceres waiting on the line as well to join us and talk us through a few of these things, because Ceres, it's great to have you. Love always talking with you, but the boys are popping off right now.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't say that they're exceeding expectations. They're living up to them, absolutely. This is the kind of performances that we expect from ourselves and what the fans should expect looking forward as well.
Yeah, I mean, the team looks super dominant in their win last night, right? Only 1 kill was taken off you guys. So I suppose the big question on everyone's mind right now is, how do you plan to capitalize on that, especially up against Peace?
Yeah, look, I don't think it necessarily matters who we're playing against, because the boys aren't going to be outmatched individually by anybody in this region, realistically. They can hold their own versus anyone. And so really it's just a matter of keeping that same discipline and execution across all matchups, regardless of who we're playing, right? So can't let it get into our heads. We don't want to be overconfident, but we want to maintain our confidence and our composure, and we just want to keep playing very disciplined league.
Fantastic. I love that answer. Right, mate, we're going to crack on with this game. Wish you boys the best of luck, and we'll catch up soon.
Cheers.
Just shaky for a second there, though. I do tell you, I nearly saw a first blood happening.
Yeah, there was a lot of early moves there. It was very similar. I think it was Peace that did this yesterday. It's giving me the exact same thing. Graves dashing over that wall, but this time around it's the exact same position. Here's the thing, and I really wish we didn't have to watch the replay of that one for TN's sake. He hook-shotted the air, and he has absolutely airballed and cost them the first blood. So he starts E. That's 100%. They get that kill, I think. I don't even know if there's any contest on that. It is just a free kill. Gone. So really tragic for the top laner of Peace there. Shaky start. Now, we did see a lot of aggression bottom lane. That's kind of the way you have to play into the Caitlyn Lux. There's a couple of ways to measure this one up, Skimmy. Cait Lux wins lane if you give them freedom to attack. If you pressure them and they're not free to attack, they don't win lane. So Jinx can push and try and keep the Caitlyn busy. Thresh can keep bush control and try and stop the Lux from having free reign. This poke with the E starts to add up, however, so it's not always going to be that simple. Some of the other ways that you could do this is by forcing your jungler to start enemy red buff, right? Or like vertical jungling on the map and pressuring Caitlyn Lux. In essence, just keep them under turret. You've done really well. So solid start here by Order overall and a good little reset from them. But one mistake against the Caitlyn, a Lux cupcake, a Caitlyn cupcake follows from the Lux binding. You just die from 100 to 0.
Might die in the mid lane as well, as Lisa looks to make his first move with the hook shot coming in again. And Tien makes up for what was a missed opportunity only minutes prior.
I mean, we'll call it a top-oon roam, right? We have to call that a top-oon roam. 3 minutes, 20 seconds into the game, Tien makes his second attempt. This time it's on the mid laner, and it will be successful. And Kisei does go down. Flash used. Teleport going to have to be blown here as well for a very weak purchase. He'll take the items that he has. It was good timing, but nonetheless, not going to be a favorable situation for him. And the triple rejuve bead, Akali happily sails back to base for a free reset after that one. Huge, honestly, from Peace. Because while it's a CS lead for BioPanther, TM picks it up, gets a Sheen. He's still happy.
Certainly is happy. Back to lane he goes, and going to have a much easier time now, fighting those trading patterns into the Ornn. There's a wave to collect as well, which is stacking up big time. So quite rightly, as you say, a Tapoon roam. But we're seeing it more and more now, and the risk is paying off.
Yeah, BioPanther cops the first attack from the Sheen, says absolutely a free reset in order for me here. Will be able to save the teleport for himself. So still good for BioPanther overall, but timing exceptional from TN. And that's why we'll call it copping a TN there. Sorry, a Topoon. Named after the man who did it first. That's really the way it works, isn't it?
Absolutely. You've got to be the one that sets the tone, creates the meta, and makes the trend. As we go down to bot lane, this is much more like what you're going to expect. So Caitlyn pushing in, has based, so to be evenly distributed on this power. And I'm really curious to sort of see how both these supports look to try and find those edges, where Beats can hit the binding, or if Corporal can posture in a position that allows them to survive and stay healthy in lane.
Yeah, currently this is favoring Peace. You can see with the controller they have in River, if something were to happen that direction, they would have the first move for sure. Corporal has to sacrifice a little bit of experience if he chooses to roam. Now, Lux is not one of those champions that actively wants to roam too much, Skimmy. You want a levels, right? You want 6. You want to be able to have a big damage combo. So a little bit more greedy than other supports with how they roam. More Enchanter-esque, even though you don't have the shielding of a Lulu.
Has been beat to strength so far this split though. And we are going to see Peace look to try and make another move as Lisa rocks up topside. Misses the Sonic Wave. And that might now be Kevy's invitation to retaliate just a fraction. Back to bot lane we go. Cleanse being burnt here by Puma. Ignite and a flash, which must have started all things off here. And a lot of summoners now burnt in the bot lane and missing.
Yeah, from what we could tell though as it panned down, Beats seem to have hit a double Q binding on both of them and forced the cleanse from Puma. So something clearly swung back.
Oh! We're not done yet.
I mean, that's it, right? Cleanse was used. Flash play available from Beats. We like it. The killer instinct is exactly what you want from this lane. Punish when you've got advantages. But now both bottom laners are, once again, in reality, just looking for those resets. Kate Luck's going to cheese, though. They were sitting in the bush hoping that the Jinx would do the one more wave tech.
Uh-oh. Nice dodge there with the safeguard away. And has to burn the flash.
Appy.
Was a 3-point collapse. In comes Appy, scouting things out. The perfect execution goes on through, but it's not going to execute anybody just yet. Tien now jumping in, missing a hook shot, but hits the Hextech ultimatum. And Kisei is left alone.
Yeah, it teleports back top lane. So Tien once again looks at the new teleport and says, it's not unleashed. Why would I teleport to towers when I can walk? And then we teleport back to the tower afterwards. Clean stuff here from the top laner of Peace. Good timings, honestly. Finding these windows constantly. Biopanther has a lead in top. I think that's fair to say. It's a 20-odd CS lead, but the kill, the assist, it starts to really make up that difference and mean a significant deal. Experience is probably the one place that you're more worried about, but overall I think Tien's very close, relatively speaking. And so there's really nothing lost from it, and it is Peace winning across the map as a result of this, even though the gold is reflected as even. Any CS leads that Order have gained, and they have, in more than one place, are starting to be pushed back by the kills that Peace are getting in response.
And it's just very different mindsets as to how they sort of want to approach these first 10 minutes, aren't they? You know, these explosive characters on the side of Peace, they need those kills. They need the economy because you see in some sense, farm really being the main determining factor here for Order. So, as you quite rightly point out, what strategy works better? And in this case, if you're hitting those breakpoints first, in the end, Peace going to continue to hunt for those snipes and punish the aggression and lack of vision.
And it was both junglers fighting before level 6, which generally speaking, the Diana doesn't want to do if she can help it. But Kevy is 6 now, as is Lisa. But you might see a more active Diana running around the rift trying to make plays. From the looks of it, it is a Herald start. No vision from Peace, but they can definitely just walk here if they wanted to contest. Their vision's very defensively minded though. You can see one just in the river, but one also protecting the top lane outer turret. So I don't think they have any intent to ever go to that Herald. And makes it very easy for someone like Kevy to just hug the Herald wall and dodge all vision completely for a free objective.
This seems to be the reason why they've stayed in the bot lane, and why wouldn't they? A Hex Slash though being buffered, got to be careful here. A death sentence that went straight down the middle, but 2 plates picked up. Ace in the hole goes across, and Corporal is, feeling a little bit sore after that.
Yeah, so kind of what I spoke about before, Skimmy, right? Corporal's been roaming, he's been moving around the map just a little bit more, so he's suffering an experience. Beats and Chayon have pressure, and when they have pressure, they can definitely make the plays. Lux Binding goes wide, Hex Flash.
Oh, beautiful dash away there from Lisa, that was beautiful.
He's still hunting though.
Oh, it's a one-man move for. He gets kicked out of it! So that means nothing. The junglers have no ults, and that might literally just fizzle out as a result.
I think Kevy tried to dash before his ult, because you can kind of buffer the ultimate mid-dash, and just hits Lisa. Otherwise, I don't think that flash was ever the right play, right? If you're a Dino with every ability up, you don't just flash ult like that. can have a free dash towards the Lee Sin who didn't have a ward hop up, right? Like, we just saw him use that one. Nevertheless, it is an objective, so it's still something going the way of order. I'm still enjoying this killer instinct, right? The flash, Hex flash specifically, angles and flanks that you're seeing from Corporal. These attempts are nice. But the kill that belongs to Caitlyn, a couple of plates going their way as well. I don't think Peace would ever complain with the game state. And honestly, I don't know if there's any massive scaling advantage one way or the other. To me, it feels like all of these teams are just... both these teams are just different in how they'll play once they start scaling. Oh, I mean, I guess I would rather be Order's comp personally.
From an ease of execution standpoint, or?
Kind of, yeah. Like, it's more cohesive the later the game goes. You've got the long range Ornn ult, you've got the Diana for follow-up, Thresh hooks are an angle as well, and Jinx is obviously just going to be Jinx late game. Caitlyn, no slouch, but it's Caitlyn Lux that are surrounded by 3, like, combat assassins, or bruisers almost, right? There's no easy front-to-back 5v5, so I guess on, like, an ease of execution front, I would be preferential to Order the longer this game goes. Sure. Also, ornaments, you know, start to help. But there's still a lot of possibility, I guess, for Peace, right? Camille flanks, Camille team fighting, Lee Sin and Carly can do the same thing. If they can kill Puma, every team fight will be a victory.
Question is, can they reach that point of the game where they're able to play to that kind of style? Right now, Order are building up a bit of a wave in the bot lane. And that's actually allowed what will be Kevin now to sneak his way in. They're going to clear out the trap. The final spot goes across. Down to 50. Is this dead? What happened to Corporal? It looks so good, Rusty. It really looked prepped and ready to go. And Peace said that's so disrespectful.
Kevy's also about to be seen by Elisa. No flash in hand.
There's the insect. There's the Sonic Wave. There's the execution. And Peace are just farming up these kills.
Yeah, I mean, Order just get caught before the punch. Caitlyn Lux, a disgusting 2v2 combo. You see exactly what they're capable of. You don't often want to let teams get this duo. Now, we all get to see why, not just the pros who have experienced it in one scrim before perma-banning Caitlyn.
Oh, this is spicy.
Okay.
Oh! Tien gets the solo. And it looks to be now all the investment to roam and help get the rest of the team fed is actually working wonders for him too.
Yeah, things start to swing back. To be fair, that was the full Mythic timing, so definitely not something the Biopanther was actively wanting to fight. Bot lane, the flash in.
Here we go, it's the force. Oh no! He's missed everything. He's going to walk away from the chompers. The box goes down. Order back on the defensive. But this Lee Sin is very keen to run them down. The Conqueror is stacked up, and I mean, I don't know, Rusty. Early signs, Peace are, they're hot on the money.
Yeah, look, Order have objectives, but not really anything else. 6-0 in kills. It is starting to get very, very out of control now and really favoring Peace. This top wave, we spoke about this as a clear item advantage for Tien. This fight, I don't think, is something you wanted to overcommit towards, right? Tien's the one who flashes in. He says this fight is happening whether you like it or not. And this was well played by Tien in a wave where Bio wanted to push and I think reset. You would expect that was a push, crash the wave and reset angle for him, but nevertheless, I mean, what do you do when Tien just steps up in your face like that, says the fight's happening and I'm better than you, and just takes the 1v1?
Well, especially if you can't even utilize your ult, right? He just buffers it beautifully with the Hex Tech, so as it stands, nice identification of a moment for which he can punish. And those bits of limit testing is why, at the 14-minute mark, Peace do find themselves up in gold.
What? The damage and the Caitlyn ultimate.
It's only going to get worse, isn't it?
And that's a welcoming gift. That's a hello, welcome back to your lane. Bot lane has flipped right now for 1 second. How do you do? Lisa is hovering. Corporal, it seems like he's hunting a Hex Flash angle here.
Certainly looking for it.
Not getting the hook, Skimmy.
They just can't find it. I mean, it just feels like Beats has got the timing, he's got the ideas. Scouts out that play. They are protecting Cheon right now, who is looking to push in this wave. And there's another dragon spawning in 20 seconds.
It's a huge flank from Appy.
Oh, no.
Kisei is about to face check the combo.
Dead.
Extremely. extremely dead. I mean, that's the way it goes, right? Just mind-controlled Kisei into walking towards the river for perhaps a flank, perhaps just looking to hit a gate shock blast, protecting the Drake, but how early in advance Appy was there, you know? Really easy to set that one up. Peace will get themselves an objective back. That is their first objective of the game. They have so many kills, man. It's still 2,000 in the lead.
Yeah, it feels almost a little bit like Chiefs versus Order to start off with. Very different ideas of how they want to play things around, but in this situation, Peace have the kills, they have the gold too. So first Drake goes their way. They managed to actually scare Order off this Herald. 2 from 2.
Yeah, so they effectively go coast to coast. The question is, what does BioPanther do right now? You would have to imagine with everybody missing, 5 people off the map for his vision. Top is going to be dove if he's not careful. I think he can confirm because they didn't crash with that wave that Herald was going to be done. He sees the notification and will clear the wave. But once again, vigilance is key. And Order just trying to get as much gold as they can. So this is the type of play that I wanted to see more of from a couple of losing teams yesterday. But they're looking towards perhaps the bot lane turret and the red side jungle. They're not posturing for the Herald as if it's a play. And the reality is, if they 5-man BioPanther, Order say thank you for the attempt, right? He'll try and clear the wave, they'll break a full bot turret. So the transaction would have been ready because Order are playing cross-map. So it is still good fundamental League of Legends. And it's what you kind of have to do if you just can't fight.
Well, can they fight here? That's the question. No vision whatsoever. Tien's going to approach the wave. You'd have to imagine 2 people are still here, lurking in the shadows. They bide their time. Out comes the grand reveal. And it's just too easy.
I mean, was that a play? It felt like they were setting up for a play. Perhaps it was just a counter gank angle from Kebby, but I mean, I feel like everyone at home was watching the same thing we were. They would have been looking at Jace thinking, when is he going to gate shock blast and literally full combo from the bush?
Yep.
It just never happened until the whole wave was cleared. So it couldn't have been a play. If it was sloppy.
Well, Tien gets that turret. Pushes back the wave. Both the bot Juries now find themselves planted in mid, as you tend to see around this time of the game. But you really are asking the question, where do Order find that moment to shine? Where do they go to get that kill, to get the ball rolling? Does Peace have a comp that wants to fight? They are fighting, and successfully too.
I mean, what's to stop Order from not doing anything though, right? Like we spoke about the ease of execution as late as the game can go. Maybe preferential. Kisei in trouble though.
Just dead again. Oh no. Kisei's having a shocker, isn't he?
And here's the thing, Skimmy, when you've got a Caitlyn and a Lux post up in mid, that's when they're the most dangerous. Because they can both just veer to a side, play that side with a Lux ult with a Kate ult, right? They don't have to necessarily leave mid lane, they can continue to push and pressure, but they influence both side lanes as a result. You have to be super careful, and Jace is not one of those champions that deals well with it. In fact, no Jace today has performed so far.
Is that a fake champion?
Trap pick?
The weakest of all the arcane champions? Who knows?
I think that's true though. Based off the series.
But Victor certainly looks strong, I'll tell you that much. Very small sample size, so maybe subjective analysis.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the Chiefs playing it, but listen, I still think you're right. It's with Corky gone, Victor does kind of rise up as the next one. We will probably see more of it. Cheeky from Corporal. Very cheeky because Appy was teleporting in. Lee Sin was looking for a flank, but the Lantern's there. And the Lantern is a key piece of technology, Skimmy, to save the team and help them scale. There might be a lot less flash hook plays happening and a lot more sitting back lanterning as Order continues to scale. The fact that it's one Drake apiece and the Drakes were fairly late buys a lot of time.
Returning to your previous point about Order not really feeling the need to have to do anything, are we seeing a situation here where it's Peace picking up another Drake. Order continue to split push, as we can see right now, primarily through Kisei.
I mean, definitely, I think Peace are going to be looking for Siege. Order are going to be looking for money at all means necessary, if that makes sense to you. So splitting is definitely one avenue of this. They've got 3 people there, so it's not splitting, however, and Biopanther is about to cop an army.
Instant flash away. Oh, traveled through space and time as the final spark comes out, but it won't connect.
If it's not a cannon wave or an ultimate can clear majority of it, but I think this late in minions are a little bit too powerful for him. Order actually going to hit the Baron.
This is nice.
Do Peace even know? Do Peace call this? They've just question mark pinged it, but if they get there, I mean, it's not going to be in time.
It's gone.
Appy's going to say hello, and it's just going to be...
Here we go. Looking for it. Now, how many of these Barons will remain intact? In goes Appy. Takes 1, takes 2. Gonna go golden, buying time for the rest of the team to come across. Ace in the hole, there's 2. Now can we find a 3rd? Yes, we can. Lisa looking for the 4th. On towards Biopanther, who TP'd in, but might go crumbling down. It's only gonna be Kevy. 1 Baron buff remains. I like the call from Order, but it hurts.
Oh, that hurts massively. The call was great. The Baron call, definitely it's a free Baron looking at this, right? But how many flashes exist from Order and how late they were to use them, I think is pretty rough. If you're in that situation, you can choose to say, okay, Corporal's dead, right? We sacrifice our Thresh. We all flash the wall immediately and we disengage. That's viable because then you have an outer turret still alive in top lane and you're actually able to just recall with Baron and power buff in a safe space. But you can see the seconds of hesitating, right? Do we actually need to flash over this wall? How close are Peace? They get punished completely. 4 people die. It's now a 0-5-0 Jace. Order with 0 kills on the board. No matter how many objectives you get, eventually you're going to have to get a kill, Skimmy, if you want to win the game. And they have 0.
It's so crazy to me to see the caliber of these teams that we have and to see that this was Order yesterday. This literally was Order in their game against Kanga. You know, the opposition had no kills. But we're looking at a leader state where, or a ladder state, I should say, rather, where the teams are close, the results are all over the show, and now we've got the flip of the script where Peace is saying there is this big void between us, and you hate to wonder, is it, you know, early synergies? Is it a case of more time needing to really find their footing, or is there actually that great of a divide?
I mean, my early take on this is Peace are just that good right now. Like, I think it's very apparent that the bottom lane of Peace are better than we gave them credit for from day one, which is exceptional because I thought there might be some teething issues, right? Some growing pains to be seen, but no. They've just been that good. The rest of Peace, we know, right? They're known quantities. They are good players.
Yeah.
They're split-winning caliber players. Order on the other side definitely will have some teething issues. I think there was an odd draft forcing the Jace in mid lane. The funny thing is, the gold difference hasn't been that high, right? We're still only looking at 5,000, even though there's no kills. So, like, trying to give Order credit where it's due. They've been farming up a Storm. They've done decently well, but they are just their measure. They've got their measure every single time. Peace, just a little bit too much killer instinct, a little bit too much proactivity. And I'm always going to be preferential to a proactive playstyle in League of Legends. I think Tian has proven that he's got the tools to do that himself in top lane. Give him a carry champion, watch him play like a carry, and play through mid as it as well. Lisa counter-ganking perfectly. The bot lane from Chain and Beats has been clean 2v2. Their combos were nice. It's just you can't fault anything, right?
Certainly can't, and we're seeing it on full display. Not a single turret remains now, apart from the ones inside of Order's base. The map really does belong to Peace. 2 very clear different strategies. And in they go again. Tien still without a death. Still going to try and knock on Death's door. Realizes the angle is no longer as attractive as it once was. And will just reset. Drake and Baron are going to be spawning at the very same time though, so if there was ever a time to contest, or at least flip again like we saw before, perhaps Order can sneak in, try and force a trade.
I mean, again, frankly speaking, it's only 5,000. 4,000 roughly, because that play from Peace was against the grain and there was a full wave being cleared top lane. The game is still winnable. As weird as that is to say,
Oh, sure.
And how one-sided this feels, this is unironically still a winnable game. 3 items for a Jinx. Ornament in one of those as well. I mean, team fights are on.
What would you like to see then? In this situation, would you be saying to your team, we need to go for this contest on the 3rd Drake? Or are you, much like we see time and time again, you're not interested? Wait for the soul point before there is that sort of checkmate situation. More time, more items, more scaling. More importantly, more ornament upgrades.
I mean, it's probably going to be Drake number 4 that you contest. Like, if you find an angle, you find an angle. But if you were to draw a line in the sand, it would be your own jungle. And it probably wouldn't extend as far as the river. So, unless we get like the full Infinity Edge, we'll see.
Here we go. Kise jumps across the wall inside the jungle on towards Tien, who responds with his own ult. Out goes the final spark. Hits them with a bit of a flashbang, but just going to tickle them. Big shields across there from Corporal's Lantern.
Just pressuring. You can see that Peace are really trying to get some vision control, some semblance of control here. In their minds, that Drake is pretty free. So they're going to play towards the other side of the map and transition. Also Baron in 45 seconds, so you can see where their priorities lie. Baron very important for the Peace composition to break the base. And I think that's what a lot of this game is about right now, is Peace have a flank on Kisei, but surprise!
He's flashed away into his waiting team. There's the move full on towards 2. Lisa to focus. Rocket comes across, doesn't get a kill, but it does enough padding. 1 for 1 so far, and finally ought to get a kill. Can they find any more though? That is the question, because Peace is a steam train that is showing no signs of stopping today. They'll disengage away, and they'll say still, we're trading up.
The full team wasn't there from order. The play was cute. It's nice because they get the jungler of Peace, so the map actually kind of opens up just a little bit more. Beast with very limited health. Appy used most of his combo also. You can see the Order trying to extend their sticky fingers out just a little bit more. What can we actually get on the map that's worth money? The answer is not going to be the Drake, but it might be that they fight back tooth and nail to get some vision in the red side jungle, which will give them access to the Baron pit at the least. We'll see this again, because Kisei is baiting. You can't help but feel like he just dies here no matter what, but the flash from Lisa was matched. The combo was clean, however, the crown of the Shattered Queen is just broken, and Beats doesn't lose any health. Could have been a second kill for a trade there, but Biopanther comes in quick, faster than 10, but it doesn't make a difference. The fight wasn't going to work out with how fast Appy was into the fray.
It's a pretty broken item, isn't it? Certainly is. Seen that happen far too many times. But you know what? Get rid of Assassins. We don't like them.
Gimme, it's still only 4,000 gold.
I know. But that's the crazy thing for me, because whilst these teams have had very clear definitions of how they want to play it out, you get kills, we'll get farm, the gold lead's always been within touching distance.
I think one of the bigger differences here is how much damage Beats are doing. So we do still have to consider that they have a control mage, like a natural control mage in the team, not just an assassin in the Akali. Completed mythic item is an AP mythic. Second item is a Hextech alternator, so definitely working towards, you know, your Shadow Flame style builds, some high DPS.
The risks for Beast is they don't have a TP, so as much of an attractive option as it would be to continue to siege, that hurt.
Yeah, that's a 0-6 Jace doing that much damage. Just as a small tangent, Manamune, when it evolves, is so efficient being behind, doesn't matter. Kevi!
Okay, well, we'll hold that point for a second, because the fight will break out here. Enemy jungle, off we go. Look at the Forge God R2, it's just a warning shot to say get out. Back to base they go.
And it's just Corporal that's taking damage every single time, right? You can see how much damage Kisei is doing.
These aren't backing. They want the fight. They want to invite it. The constant threat that Baron could always be taken. There is vision. They need to clear that out first of all. Otherwise, it's a dance with no end. But now they do. How to Order retake the river.
Beats absolutely cops it. Oh, hang on. Kevi's just copped it from Appy. Fire caught.
He certainly has been caught. Tien jumps in. Looking to try and find that pick as they go. Moonfall hits nothing. It's an airport. It's horrendous. Appy's gone golden, and Cheon's found one. They've taken down 2. Both the key carries of Order are dead. Appy traveling across the map on his own. On a field day. He's having so much fun in this game, and he's actually going to die. The Tara acting as the 6th member in this game, but not enough help. can be given to Order. It's the first ace of this game, and with a wave and with 4 members still standing, Peace are going for the end.
I mean, we tried to put some solace into this game, Skimmy. We tried to say that Order scale, and their composition definitely did, but the moment just eludes them. The team fight's too strong from Peace. The opportunities they find just a little bit too clean. And whatever the heck that plush is from Tan, it's more excited than he seems to be because he always puts it in front of the camera and says, look at this. So Peace proving that they are 100% a contender in this one. And you can see the hands go above Chaeyoung saying, look at my ADC, and they're right. How good is Peace's new ADC?
I mean, those were the questions that we kept asking in the discussion as to what would it be like to try and fill the pieces of Violet. Well, he studied under this guy for a full year, and whilst the first few games may not have looked up to par for what we kind of expected of Peace as a brand, this is a game where you could argue, sure, it's Caitlyn, it's a crutch, but don't take anything away. He certainly popped off in that game, and Peace as a whole did there, Mac.
They certainly did. It was a interesting game, more so for Peace fans, because they were just gapping him. Every time Order tried to do anything, Peace would just rotate and seem to know everything happening, seemed to always know exactly where to be. And even when they were, you know, man down like in this situation, that combo from both the ults and just how much damage could be dished out in that bot lane duo. Look, Bio was right. They were worried about the bot lane, and they certainly had to be because Chaeyoung had probably his career performance so far, just smashing it out of the park with this one, Rusty.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had a great performance. Peace overall just looked exceptional. I mean, we spoke about it, the shades of Top Boom with the ganks here, and definitely establishing himself once again as maybe we don't accidentally give him Gragas, he will continue to actually carry.
Yeah.
But still, the crazy thing about this game to me, Mac, and I've said it a few times, is how, like, unbelievably close it was when it was never close. You know,
Yes.
Peace were always ahead, but it still felt like it was within touching distance. But then this is the fight, right, where the game just ends. Appy's so clean on his Akali, by the way. Definitely one of my highlights from this game. Didn't expect him to be just that good, but he really is a bit of a freak on the champ.
I think, look, targeting Puma in that fight definitely was key because he still had like a CS lead by about 40. I don't know if it was still 40 or 50 towards the end, but the man was a little bit ahead. Another stat we've got as well is apparently Tian's Divine Sunder did 2,500 damage on its own, and that's almost a quarter of the damage he's done throughout the game. So pretty crazy, a pretty crazy game from him up top. Bio having a bit of a rough one. Man was able to survive. He could tank a lot of damage, but unfortunately he just wasn't the key focus from Peace because they knew he was going to be way too hard to kill. And things just, look, we didn't even get to the Soul. You were talking about that one, Skimmy, I believe you brought that up, saying both these teams are really good around playing around the Rift objectives in terms of the Drakes, but it seems like Peace, they just put on a performance that was pretty much on par with what we saw from Order yesterday, right?
That was just a handshake in those first 10 minutes. They were saying, you can pick up the Drakes, the Heralds, we're not interested, we're just going to get kills instead. We're going to find map pressure, and we're seeing that more and more now happen. Some of these teams forming identities as to how they want to play the game. Yes, you've got a lot of these champions that will scale into infinity, but more and more of these LCO teams are finding out that if we can punish you in the early game, look how devastating that snowball effect is, and you can make trades. I think sometimes teams try to bite off more than they can chew. We've got to contest this, we have to take that, rather than this is one clear game plan, and that's what we're going for. And I mean, Peace stuck to their guns, and it was pure art.
It was crazy to see, you know, Lux in the mix as well. I don't know when we last actually got to see her in competitive here in the LCO. I can't remember.
Probably the last time we saw a Caitlyn.
Yeah, Caitlyn as well. It's crazy. Look, and the Arcane Diff was there, but unfortunately, yeah, Jace just did not have a good time at the office at all. Kitty, I heard you had a good time watching that one because you were one of the Peace predictors.
That was an absolute stomp from Peace, and me and Skimmy both predicted that. So let's bring on Chaeyoung for the interview. Hello, Chaeyoung. So that was your best game so far on Caitlyn. So let's talk about your draft from last game. So you picked Caitlyn Lux. The combo is quite heavily. That combo has quite a heavy resource. It is quite a heavy resource lane, sorry, with a good kill threat. With Lisa and Lee Sin, who decided it was going to be a bot-focused game?
I think we both decided to focus on bot lane. Yeah, that's it. We both decided.
So you and Beats both decided, let's pick Caitlyn Lux. We're going to absolutely destroy Puma and Corporal with those 2v2s. And you guys prove the fans right.
Yeah, because I have confidence
Yes.
to pick Kaden.
Yeah, because you released a Caitlyn tutorial on Douyin, so you are quite confident with the champion. So let's talk about difference in roster. So obviously you were the sub during 2021. How do you compare 2021 Peace roster to the 2022 roster?
I think for 2022, my teammate is like very friendly to me. Just give me a lot of help. I think only me need to like get a lot of proof and be like violent, like the yeah. Because I learned about a lot of things from violent. Yeah.
Yeah, well, with that Caitlyn game, you are one step closer to become the next Violet. So today is the new year, Chinese New Year. So I have a question for you, a special one. So Chan, can you name me all the Chinese zodiac signs in English?
In English? No way. I only got one or two. Oh, it's hard for me. It's hard for me right now. I can't even say
Well,
one. I think
you know, you can
yeah.
try. I'll give you a hint. The first one is rat.
Yeah, rat, and I know. I only know like one of the Leo.
Leo?
Yeah, that's it.
Leo. Leo is I guess replaced with Tiger because it is the year of the Tiger. That's okay. Chan, do you want to say all of them in Chinese just to show the fans what it's like?
Can I speak with Chinese or English?
Yeah, you can say it in Chinese. It'll be easier for you.
Yeah, just 新年快乐，朋友们 Happy New Year 所以then Happy Day.
Happy day. Hope you have a happy day as well. And thank you for the interview, Cheon. Great performance once again. And let's head it back to Mac. Bye, Cheon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Look, he had a good crack at it.
He tried.
Yeah, did he know about the goose, though? That's what I need to know. Did he know about the goose? I forgot to ask him about the goose to see if
He's never going to live that one down, is he?
Yeah, he'll get there eventually. Either way, we do have the player of the game, and it was the big man in the top lane with Inky at his side, as always. It was Tian, 5-0-4, just smashing it all the way to the end. 47% kill participation. Not super high, but of course there was a whole lot of action going on in that bot lane where it was just Cheon just right-clicking up a storm and killing with Caitlyn at big long ranges. But Tian was doing a good job up in the top lane, wasn't he, Rusty?
Yeah, Sam was doing a fantastic job. Again, I have a very hard time faulting Peace from this game. I've had a very hard time faulting them for the past 3 games that they have played.
Yeah.
They've just been such an exceptional team, and, you know, I think most of us had them middle of the pack, probably with our predictions in like tier list at the beginning. I think most of the, you know, the LCO pundits or anyone who would have put a guess in there would have had them further down than where they are right now, and they've surprised everybody 100% and now are 100% contenders.
Yeah, it seems like from consistency's sake, I feel like they're looking like the best team so far. I think I want to see what happens when they go up against Chiefs, whenever that is. But for the moment, if you guys want to keep up to date with all good things in terms of giveaways and competitions, !mail in the chat. I heard it blesses you with good postage. I had a mate who messaged me after last night's show. He said he signed up to the mailing list and all of his packages arrived at his doorstep today. So you too could get good luck if you join the mailing list. Please, !mail in chat, follow the link and you'll get all the goods. Now, that brings us to the end of this game, but we got one more banger on the menu for this evening, and that game is Gravitas and Mammoth, which is coming up just after the break.
Actually allowed what will be Kevin now to sneak his way in. They're going to clear out the trap. The final spot goes across down to 50. He's dead! What happened to Corporal?
Fire caught.
He certainly has been caught. Tien jumps in, looking to try and find that pick as they go. Mid-full hits nothing. It's an airport. It's horrendous. Happy's gone golden, and Cheon's found one. They've taken down two, both